Yay! Yet another fantastic day in the Outer Worlds 2. I'm just finishing setting up, and then I jump straight into it. I left out at a good spot yesterday, I believe. Directly just before a gunfight. So. $2,047. Yay! Let's go.
The Order and their presiding bishop seem trustworthy enough. Have you seen their wireless advertising? Nothing's ever new or 110% improved. It's so honest, it's boring.
Yeah. I got a new companion last time. I got two. So there is the girl.
I can't believe I'm surrounded by idiots.
The girl here?
Not you, I mean the other idiots. They betrayed me. They betrayed the Dawn. They need to die. What more is there to know? Who can say what drives those who have clearly lost their minds?
A poignant
And this is the other.
especially in relation to crime and punishment. In order to answer it, we must first understand... Hello? Are you listening to me? Asa?
It will be for the swine who betrayed me. Oh, you mean the range itself? It's a site for developing and testing N-ray technology. N-rays can be deadly once processed, and they should be fairly contained, though I wouldn't put it past those fools to have meddled with things beyond their comprehension. I just hope they haven't all gotten themselves killed before I've had a go at them. Such as? Nothing of much worth to tell there. I'd rather hear your story. At all cost. I like the sound of that. I hope you gutted those fools. Can't abide the unenlightened who would curtail our behavior out of their own repression. Joining the glorious Dawn freed me of such nonsense. They gave me a completely new life, wiped away all traces of fear and repression, and replaced them with unbridled freedom. My world used to be devoid of color. Everything was gray. Now everything is vibrant, like the arterial spray of a freshly opened vein.
She's not sane, is she?
And I'm still not interested in discussing it.
Swine!
Oh, okay. No gunfight. She thought there would be, but I already shot them. I have had flying corpses. Not that much, though.
Hey, Tristan. Or should I say, the famous Arbiter Rao?
If you seek to taunt me, know that my hammer has crushed the skulls of dozens like yourself.
See, that's just it. You act all high and mighty, but you're as scary to people as I am.
Wrongdoers fear me, most certainly. But loyal subjects admire me. I might go so far as to say I am adored, far and wide.
No, they're terrified of you. I should know. I love having nightmares of being judged unworthy.
You mean for doing something like, oh, joining an insane religious cult?
You're dumber than you look. And that's saying something.
was not prepared for such an influx of refugees.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Oh, no, we can't allow that. You'd best go and see our doctor at once. Just keep your distance from others. Our calculations do not afford many sick refugees. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. And the invaders, the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the camp.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
A wasteland devoid of life? No, Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Blast! I was halfway through my backwards recitation of each protectorate law. Good that repetition strengthens the mind. Speak freely.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Don't want it, don't need it. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So, I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Think thrice before rabble-rousing. We have numerical superiority.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt. Some people think soup doesn't qualify as a meal. Those people are incorrect and rude.
You there! Cease rifling in your colleagues' pockets or else! And you, no jostling! Oh, forget it.
Every scientician yearns to visit the archive on Cloister. One day, it will process all of our equations. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions.
I'm so hungry. I haven't had real good food for...
$1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. I have zero allotted time for random queries, at present or in the foreseeable future. But very well. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you. Yes. I haven't any time for idle chatter, but I suppose I can carve out a moment for urgent business.
Here's an old weapon. This here's the plasma cutter. That's from the original.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, new arrivals. Of an independent operative nature, one presumes. Did the abbot assign you to help? So you are an independent operative. My estimations were largely correct. Well then, I may have something for you. Infrastructure requests from the displaced exceed present resource capacity. The mounting accumulation of prevailing desideratum is regrettably beyond us. Or beyond me, more to the point. I am simply one person impossibly stretched thin, and unable to attend to the needs of the displaced. Why, yes. And here I assumed I was speaking to a, no offense, layperson. Tell me, what do you know of the exclusion zone? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. We can't have the voice of the displaced sowing disorder. Will you help us? Will you be our outside mediator, as was foretold? I have some custom-made order armor I never use. I can also allocate some funds from my budget. At least, I can provide that if you side our way. So, do we have a deal? I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. It must work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. Feel free to speak with the voice of the displaced herself if you aren't already acquainted. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. These are the data points we need. Keep at it then. Precision is ever our ideal. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
By the law, it's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad. With my thanks. How can I be of service? Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. More what to watch out for, advisement on adhering to the plan, forecasts of probabilistic dangers, elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. The former are generalized forecasts for groups or settlements. The latter are more specialized to individuals and take far more time to calculate. Usually some are handled by one of the more senior seers in a region, but with Seer Wiley's days taken up advising the abbots and other things, this responsibility falls to me. Regrettably, I have built up a bit of a sizable backlog. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's Mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
Can't talk. Calculating an inverse complex sine function in my head.
Their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray?
my time is yours. No, I'm afraid we won't. Not without the requisite allotment of time and...
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. I was not informed you'd be arriving with a, scholar of alternative belief.
You are just dying to call me a cultist, aren't you?
Ah, yes, I'm sure. Well, good then. Consider my fears allayed. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach? Since losing access to the archive, the Order has been forced to limit its open exchange of ideas and information to avoid contaminating what few predictions we can still make. Well said. You clearly have a mind for science. The archive is a vast network of computational machines built beneath the ice of Cloister. Prior to the invasion, the Order used it to generate predictions on a vast scale. But listen to me prattling on. I'm sure you aren't here for a history lesson.
And leave Abbot Newell to be subjected to the inanity of a total stranger? Absolutely not.
Don't trouble yourself about Seer Wiley. He's here as my aide. I trust him implicitly. Now, you were saying? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. I'd caution about passing through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it, but given the company you keep, I suspect that will not present much difficulty. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Earth Directorate Agent is just a title. I'd seek to know who you are beyond that bit of headline. Doubtful. Only fools run around proclaiming their intelligence.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend. But the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence. But if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. Both, I should hope. We've been collaborating for many years, and, plan willing, for many more to come. Especially given how very uncertain life in the colony has become. That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varick, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
I'll be back a little later. This was close to an hour and I'm just so tired. Yeah, I'll be back. No doubt about it.